What's up, everybody? It's Jared with Capture the Magic, and in today's video, we are going to talk about the ongoing saga of the Epcot in-ground lighting, as they're having more issues yet again with this, as this has been an ongoing issue. So we're going to read through this article from Blog Mickey about what currently is the issue and where this stems and how they might fix it. I don't know. Maybe they can figure some things out by going to another theme park that has seemed to pull this off that's just kind of down the road, but we'll talk about it and see where this currently stands. It says here, a large section of World Celebration in-ground lighting now deemed tripping hazard at Epcot. So a large portion of the World Celebration Garden central planter is roped off today, an action that typically indicates that there is a tripping hazard. As it turns out, much of the in-ground lighting has popped up as mortar begins to deteriorate about a year and a half after it opened to guests. And between then, once it opened to now, they've actually gone in and redone all this to still have this ongoing issue. So the area itself is not that old, and they tried to redo it not that long ago, and they're still having problems with it now. It says, as you can see in the photos below, a significant portion of the central planter in-ground lighting has been roped off. While it is not uncommon to see small sections roped off for guest safety, this is the largest closed section that I've seen since the World Celebration Gardens opened. A number of lighting strip covers have popped up, causing a tripping hazard for guests. A section of the rope either came undone or was removed by guests. We saw a few guests go past the ropes to get a photo with the planter. And you can see here that that entire area looks like it is completely roped off. And you can see here, it's coming up out of the concrete, which has been one of the issues here. And you can see there, like the concrete around it is not doing well. Also looks stained. Like it just doesn't look good. And this area is not that old. Here, this area is cracked. I mean, if you got a stroller or even just walking, that, I mean, clearly is a tripping hazard. And this has been an ongoing issue ever since the Epcot overhaul was complete, as this was finished in late 2023. And this is an article here from WWNT in December 6th of 2023. It says lighting elements malfunctioning in World Celebration Gardens at Epcot just one day after the opening of the area. And you see some pictures here. And when it's working, this thing, it looks cool in here. We've been in here at night, and then when all this is working, it is a cool effect. But even one day after it opened, there were already issues with the lighting. And then the story goes that apparently the maintenance crews either weren't told or didn't follow instructions, and power washing this area caused the plastic or the seal of these to basically come undone, got water in there, and were causing issues with the in-ground lighting. And that was the first, I think, many issues they had here. And this has been reported on over since that time period as well. Here's an article from November 15th, 2024. Epcot's World Celebration Gardens in-ground lighting is completely broken, future unclear. And this one just shows the lighting issues, like some of them working, some of it not working. At various points, same thing there. Tripping hazards that the plastic pieces have come undone, as these are not one single piece. And so those pieces that fit together, eventually enough traffic goes over it, it's coming up and causing issues for, walking. And if you've got a stroller and things, then they redid it. They replaced different plastic over the top of this, which they talked about here as this may be getting fixed. Back about a day later in this article, they talked about that. And then November 29th, World Epcot Celebration in-ground lighting reactivated, but struggles continue. And so even when all of this has been going on to get this fixed, they haven't been able to get the in-ground lighting here to actually work longer, it seems, than a couple of weeks without having some issues with it. And it's not the only part of the park that's had tripping issues. You have another part here. This is from May 8th, 2024. Disney World fixes tripping hazard in new World Celebration Gardens at Epcot. It says after nearly 3 months of construction, a tripping hazard has been remedied in Epcot's new Celebration Gardens. And this is on a part to the side here. It says to shave down some of the themed dirt around the base of a themed lighting fixture in the enclave closest to Connections Cafe and Eatery. And they said this is what it used to look like right here. I guess supposed to look like a piece of dirt or something. And they went in and took that out. It says with low construction walls removed, the shaved down Fox dirt has not been repainted to match the surrounding area. But that's what it looks like there. So there's been multiple tripping hazards in this area. And this even goes without talking about the Epcot overhaul as a whole was completely underwhelming, as all the concept art that they showed for what they were going to do for Epcot and what the final product was was not even remotely close to what we got in Epcot. And this in-ground lighting is a very simple thing. I mean, they did this at Epcot, the original version of Epcot. They had in-ground lighting in the areas with no problems. You look over at Epic Universe, they have tons of in-ground lighting and different lighting effects all throughout that park, and I had no issues with it working. So if they're wondering how to do this, I mean, they could just go over to Epic Universe and really study what they did. Maybe even go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't know. You might find some people in there that could probably help you get this to work, where not every couple of months you got to go in here and redo all of this. It's just a very strange thing in an area that is not that old. And not only the lighting issues in here, but there's been also talked about how a lot of the materials used in this area are not holding up well as just a short amount of time has gone by. And it seems like they didn't use materials that would do well in the Florida climate. They also have areas where it's just outside baking in the sun. Like the entire Epcot overhaul just seems like it was designed in California, ported over to Florida, and they're having, issues with this seemingly. I know that may come as a shock. I don't know why people would be surprised that if you design something for the California climate and bring it over to Florida, it's not the same climate as California. And this in-ground lighting is continuing to be an issue at Epcot. And I mean, it's just a bad look. I don't know what else to say. They took out the Fountain of Nations for this, which again, Disney is in this habit of wanting to take out water features in their parks. Put this in here. And again, when it is working, it does look cool. I mean, I will give them credit for that. When this whole thing is actually working like it's supposed to, I mean, it's a cool effect at night. It syncs with the music and things. I mean, again, we're not talking like cutting edge technology here. This is the type of thing people have been doing in their house, at their houses for Christmas to sync them up with Christmas lights and music for decades. So we're not talking about just cutting edge technology to get this stuff done. But it's just a very strange thing to have this seemingly very simple thing keep popping up as a problem, which again points to people looking at Imagineering and saying, what is going on with Imagineering? And then when you talk about the projects that Disney is currently getting ready to start under construction in Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, and currently under construction in Animal Kingdom, there are lots of questions about it. But not only this, you've had the issues at Tiano's Bayou Adventure, both at Disney World and Disneyland. Plus at Disneyland, you've had the whole issue with the Haunted Mansion gift shop, as that was found out to be a prefabbed building. They also got caught using AI art in there. Like, there's just been lots of questions around Imagineering and the current state of it. And things like this continuing to be issues here doesn't help anything. Now, I don't know if Imagineering is directly responsible or involved with this specific area of Epcot. I don't know if that falls on the maintenance crew. I don't know where it really falls. But either way, it's not a great look. It doesn't give your consumers and your guests a lot of confidence in your future projects when you can't even get in-ground lighting elements to work longer than a couple of weeks before the same issue keeps on happening. So I don't know if it's just not wanting to use expensive materials, but then I would also argue if that's the case, you've probably spent more money now going in and redoing this over and over again than you would have been if you just would have used the more expensive high-end quality products to begin with. As my grandfather used to always say, do it right the first time and don't have to go back and redo it. Like, saving money sometimes in the short term ends up costing you a lot more money in the long term, and not to mention the reputation and just the overall, I guess you could say, confidence of how guests feel about your theme parks. And I think this is a great instance of this. It just seems like a lot of these materials being used are not materials that are, tested or graded for really high traffic amounts, like people walking over this, using strollers, using scooters. Like, it's a high traffic area of the theme park. It's like they either didn't anticipate that being the case with the materials, or they just cheaped out on them, or whatever the case is. It's just a strange look. And I at this point, it's rather comical. Like, I just laughed when I saw this story. I'm like, again, this is happening, the same story over and over again. And it's just a very seemingly silly problem to have in your theme park when you're talking about in-ground lighting that's synced with music. I mean, this is not cutting edge technology that nobody has been able to figure out. And I don't know if they're going to go in and redo this whole area. I feel like what they need to do maybe to close this area off, really get in here and just redo the whole thing instead of just doing patchwork fixes on this, because clearly that is not working. It's perplexing that a company with this much money, seemingly these many resources, this many people involved in the construction of this area and the maintenance of this area, cannot come together to figure out how to fix this. Are they skimping on budgets like many people have talked about? Or do they just not want to go in and fix this because it would cost too much money? Or do they think it would be a bad look if they put this area back under construction to fix it? And even if that is the case, I mean, this is what happens if you cheap out in the first hand. You don't do it right. You didn't use the right materials. But if you go in here and actually fix this, like, sure, people are going to look at you and they're going to be like, oh, already under construction yet again. But at least you would go in and fix the problem and not have this continual thing happen again and again, because I think that's a worse look. I don't think Disney's looking at this, this being a better look than putting this whole area under construction to actually fix it. I think this is a worse look if you have this issue pop up again and again versus just going in, fixing it, and then moving along. And obviously that's not what has been happening. Perhaps that's what they will do going forward. But even the lighting in here, the construction elements like the concrete in here, these things are not aging well. And this area has not even been open for 2 years yet. And not to mention, this is right in front of the brand new GO82 lounge that they just opened up that has a $180 price tag for a fireworks viewing of this very high-end lounge. And then right outside of it, they have a seemingly simple issue that they have yet to be able to figure out for whatever reason. But either way, they're still having problems with this. So maybe those Imagineers can head over to Epic Universe, maybe pick the brain of some of the people at Universal and ask them how in the world they were able to accomplish this amazing feat of having in-ground lighting effects not only work, but continue to work for multiple months without having issues here. Maybe that's something they can do to figure out. But either way, it is currently unknown about the future of this area. And I guess we'll see what happens with this area in the coming weeks. But either way, that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about the lighting issue at Epcot? And do you think they're actually going to fix it? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.